Hello and welcome to the Album Man, and today I'm going to be doing CDs I bought recently for what, is it May? May? Yeah, May. And if you're wondering what the background music is, well, I decided, let's just chill, have some fun while doing this, so I've put on a playlist of some of my favourite silly pop songs. So here we have Cyndi Lauper's Girls Just Wanna Have Fun, which is a great song. So, we have CDs and a ton of vinyls. This episode, whatever, is going to be vinyl, it's vinyl heaven for me. I just found some fantastic stuff. So we're going to start off doing a bit of a one at a time, so one CD, one vinyl, but then the vinyls are going to massively overwhelm and outnumber the CDs. I have way more. Okay, we'll start with something that isn't new, but is sort of, so, yeah. We have here Wishbone Ash's Argos. Now, this is one of my favourite prog albums of all time. I do have a copy, but what basically is quite interesting... Well, it's not, okay. Well, you might find it interesting, you might not. Basically, my dad's also a big fan of this album, and he had the deluxe version of the album, while I only had the standard one. And for some reason, it wouldn't work. The CD, it wouldn't be read. It wouldn't be read by my CD player, or his CD player, or laptops, or anything. So, he ended up getting a new version, so it means I got the deluxe version of it, which is always a bit cooler, has a second disc with some live concert, and, yeah, some extra bonus tracks. So, yeah, it's definitely cool, amazing album if you don't know it. I mean, check out the song Sometime World. I even played that in my prog fest with you, when I went to see Martin Turner's Wishbone Ash. So, yeah, definitely recommend Argos. And now I can't say I've listened to yet criminally, but I will. Megadeth's Countdown to Extinction, and yes, this is the remastered one, I know, kill me. But yes, I just had so many things about this. So this was for like £2 in some exchange when I went to Manchester the other week, so it's like, okay, £2 Countdown. Okay, it's the remastered one, but... I don't mind that much. I quite like the remasters, actually. I find the remasters, certainly with Rust in Peace, yes, I know about the vocal outtakes, and it was different tracks, and re-recording vocals, yada. But just actually, sonically, if we're not going to talk about the vocals, just like the drums, I prefer the sound. So yeah, looking forward to hearing this. People always go on about this as a classic Megadeth album, so yeah, that'll be cool. Picked up some Bob Dylan, only like a couple of quid or something at a car boot. It turns out that's all it's worth. But it's the one before Tempest, yeah, from 2009. I can't say no, can't say I've got round to listening to it yet. What, Together Through Life. So yeah, don't really know much about it. If you do, please do tell me. Oh, a new band I discovered, and this album, it's just amazing. Now, you might not know this, but this is called Graveyard, and this is their album Lights Out. Now, Graveyard, they're a Swedish hard rock band, and damn, they just the epitome of 70s. You like bands like Rival Sons and Black Country Communion, and that type of 70s revival sound, and you're going to love this hard rock band. They have, to me, quite a few Zeppelin-y elements, even a bit of Oyster Cult, and a bit of Zeppelin and Sabbath, and just... They have loads of cool 70s elements in them. I love this. Song I'd recommend the single Endless Night, and I'd recommend the album track Fall in the End. Just especially check out Endless Night, and if you aren't blown away by the catchiness of that 2.5 minute song, then just go away, to be honest. Anyway, yeah, this is their latest album, great album. Something I'm going to listen to very soon, which I'm really looking forward to, Witchcraft Legend. So this is a bit more of an expensive album for me to pick up. I usually pick up dirt cheap albums, that's just how I am. I'm a bit stingy and also don't have much money. But yes, I decided to splash out on Witchcraft, and I'm saving it a bit, but I'm going to listen to it very soon. Bloody adverts playing now. Yes, I'm going to listen to this soon. Really looking forward to listen to this album. God damn, is that a long anthem. So yeah, Witchcraft. They were Swedish, sort of psychedelic classic rock. Even, I think, metal. I would almost classify them as almost psych doom metal. Almost that Sabbathy sound. Certainly, that early Sabbathy sound. Definitely had some 60s psychedelic, to it to me. I was meant to show one after the other, wasn't I? Instead, I just ended up going on the CD. Anyway, now we just have all vinyl. That failed, that structure. I just, not thinking straight. Okay, so let's move on to some good old-fashioned vinyl. So firstly, we have Elton John's Blue Moves. So this album, I can't say I know much about it. I picked it up for £1. It's a double album, is all I know. And it has the song Sorry Seems to Be the Hardest Word, which is a great song. And when's this one? This is a 70s one, yeah. It's from 1976, so I think that's after Goodbye Yellow Brick Bird. Yeah, you know, it seemed good. It was £1, well, yeah, so why not? And the song playing now, Video Killed the Radio Star by the Buggles. Just drop dead classic. Love it. Now this album, quite funny I come on to the Buggles as we talk about Asia. I finally got a copy of this album. And damn am I happy to. This is just, it's one of my favourite rock albums of all time. And this is a lovely condition copy. In fact, this was actually in the cellophane, which I've taken off now. It plays beautifully. So happy to have this. And of course this features Jeff Downes, the keyboardist of the Buggles. So how appropriate is that? And yeah, John Wetton from King Crimson, Steve Howe from Yes, and Cole Palmer from Emerson, Lake and Palmer. It's one of the greatest supergroups ever created, and XXX, their latest album from last year, is, to be honest, one of their best. It's just second to this. I mean, I'm sure everyone knows this album sold bucket loads. It was the biggest seller in America in '82, so yeah, that says something alone. Oh, and this... And, wait, I'm not going to quite get onto this one yet. Let me just sort of... Okay, right. So, here's some that I just randomly found, to be honest. I found this, Wings London Town. Yeah, so, you know, don't really know anything about it. But, you know, it seems cool. It's Wings, you know, I like McCartney. Don't know much Wings. Found a couple of singles just lying around. These are kind of cool. Saxon's Power and Glory, 12-inch. With a live version of Denim and Leather. And this is actually pretty cool. Meatloaf, Midnight at the Lost and Found, featuring a 12-minute live version of Bat Out of Hell, which is very, very cool. And it features Fallen Angel, Dead Ringer, and Midnight at the Lost and Found. So yeah, it's a pretty cool single, actually. But now let's go on to some good old albums. Now here... Oh my god, where to start? Basically, I went to a car boot, and I just found the motherload, to be honest. There was this guy who seemed just a genuine vinyl guy, and he was selling just bucket loads of albums, £1 each. And I couldn't resist. There was just a ton of great stuff. But before we quite get into that, one that I just found that I only picked up for 50p, and the vinyl, it isn't in the most wonderful condition, but it's definitely very playable and it sounds nice. Bowie's Diamond Dogs. Never had a Bowie album on vinyl before, so very, very pleased to find this. And this, of course, features Rebel Rebel. I think this is definitely one of his most underrated. I listened to this the other day. God damn, is this good album. I think, I prefer it to Aladdin Sane to us. I mean, it's not as good as Ziggy. Ziggy is Ziggy. But this is an amazing album. Songs like Rebel Rebel, Diamond Dogs, damn's that a good song. Even the slightly funkier Sweet Thing, which sort of foreshadows like stuff like Low and Lodger, where you go a bit funky, soul even, which I'm not a big fan of. But this is one of his last great albums before the Berlin trilogy, certainly, when he went through that weird period in the 70s. Ah, and this is a good one for £1. Paul and Linda McCartney's Ram. Now, I don't know much about this. It's more that I was just watching some videos of people in the VC or vinyl community, and seeing people's videos, especially someone was doing a thread about top 5 Beatles albums. I think it was like Me, Mr. Mail, saying check out his channel, cool guy. And yeah, top 5 Beatles albums, Beatles solo albums. This is Year 3000, it's played by Busted. Who doesn't like this song? This is one of the first rock songs I ever liked, first band I ever went to see live, so, you know. Anyway, don't know anything about this album, haven't played it yet, but it looks in decent condition, looking forward to it. Also, hope you enjoy the lighting, if you notice, if you haven't. But yeah, it's a bit brighter, I finally got some bulbs for my light. God almighty, this song just doesn't hold up as well as it should have done. Oh, this is a great one. Mike Oldfield, Exposed. Now, I'm a big Mike Oldfield fan. I've said many times how much I love Mike Oldfield. I have a lot of his albums, I have a ton of him, but I'm so pleased to find this live one. This has a live version of Tubular Bells Part 1, which is infinitely better than Part 2. I'm not a big Part 2 fan, actually. And this also has a live version of the longest song ever recorded, which is Incantations. which was a double album, which was one song. It was like a 75-minute song. It's the longest non-noise song ever recorded. Now, unfortunately, the version on here isn't quite as long, but it's still like a 40-minute damn version of it, so looking forward to hearing that. Haven't got around to it quite yet. Now, this was a bit of a gamble, but, you know, why not? Jan Akkerman solo album, Tabernacle. Now, who's Jan Akkerman, you may wonder? Well, he's the lead guitarist and I think singer of the band Focus, who had the album Moving Waves and the single Hocus Pocus in the 70s. I'm a Dutch band. And yeah, this is Jan Akkerman doing his own stuff in... Let's see, when was this? I have literally no clue. But yeah, why not? It's interesting, to say the least. You know, I know nothing about it. This is a 50p one I got from a different person. Aerosmith Pump, why not? Only 50p. It's not my favourite era of Aerosmith. I mean, I prefer the, you know, pre that album, Permanent Vacation, before that. But yeah, this has stuff like Love in an Elevator, Janie's Got a Gun. Yeah, you know, it's decent, overly commercial Aerosmith. Probably, I haven't listened to it yet, but it seems to be better than Another Dimension, which that's disappointing, quite a mixed album. Eric Clapton, Just One Night. So, live Clapton, how could I pass this up for a quiz? Good old bit of live, but I'm not a giant Clapton fan. I think he's a little overrated as a guitarist, but I do enjoy him, and this really is just like a best of Clapton. I mean, this has, you know, Wonderful Tonight, has Further On Down the Road, Kane. The only thing I would have liked is Layla, but it doesn't seem to really play that live often. Yeah. So yeah, that's cool. Rogue disc, I've just found. What's this? Oh, that's the Clapton disc. I was just listening to it, so. Good old Heart. I like Heart quite a bit, and I've been looking to pick up this album for ages. It's been in my Amazon basket sitting around as a CD for just ages and ages. But yes, so pleased to get some Heart. It's not the album I want most of theirs. The one I want most is one Barracuda, because God damn is Barracuda a good song. But yeah, this is one of the classic albums, I believe. And yeah, so that's always cool. Now this one, considering it was only £1, I can only find it on eBay, and certainly this version of it for about £15 to £20. So really happy to get this for £1. This is Stevie Ray Vaughan and Double Trouble Texas Flood. Now, I'm sure everyone watching this pretty much will have heard of this album. It is a classic blues album. I mean, you know, Stevie Ray Vaughan, of course, tragically killed in a helicopter incident. But yeah, this is just a classic blues album, what we're listening to now. More Cyndi Lauper, bit of Time After Time. So yeah, and this is actually the original pressing. First, the Matrix's A1B1, so it seems it's a original of the UK pressing of this on the original label it's released on as well. So really pleased to find it for £1. It goes for about 15 to 20 quid on eBay, so way out of my price range. So yeah, really happy to get that. An album I've been looking for ages. I know I've said this quite a few times, but I just found so much good stuff. Supertramp's Breakfast in America. This is just a classic keyboard-driven American rock album. I'm sure everyone knows this album. Certainly you American people, it's a classic album. I like Supertramp quite a bit. I have the other album I have Even in the Quietest Moments. But yeah, Supertramp, they're a good bit of fun American AOR, very keyboard-driven. One of my favourite guitarists of all time, Mr. Gary Moore. And this is Wild Frontier, one of the albums I don't have, and this was more of his rock stuff. Now, I would say in general I'm a big fan of his blues, except for, of course, the Thin Lizzy album Black Rose, which features him and is my favourite Thin Lizzy album. But yeah, I mean, Gary Moore for £1. This is probably, yeah, this has like Over the Hills and Far Away, which is definitely one of his best rock songs. Johnny Boy's good as well. Wild Frontier, they're just really strong album, I have to say, really strong album. One that's very cool to find, but it plays a little dodgily, I have to say. Santana's Abraxa, and maybe I should censor the cover, you know, but I'm not going to. I don't believe in censorship around these parts. But yeah, this is a classic Santana album. It really is the quintessential album, with my favourite of his songs, Black Magic Woman, of course, which was written by Peter Green, interestingly enough. I just discovered that now. Well, anyway, still my favourite Santana track. This, it's a little rough, I have to say, to listen to. A little too scratchy. but it's playable. But yeah, it's definitely not the best condition. I definitely look out for this album for an upgrade copy or something. But the last, and by certainly no means least, is the album that certainly sounds the best, and is one of the best I found, to be honest. It's a classic, Boston's Boston. Another album I've been looking for ages. I'm a sucker for American AOR, and this, to me, is one of the pinnacles. I mean, just the first song alone, More Than the Feeling. God damn, I don't care how, you could say, overplayed on the radio that song is. It's amazing. And this vinyl, bloody hell, it is one of the best vinyls, just sonically, I've ever heard in my life. The clarity and the way it pops out the sound is just, it's sublime. I just enjoyed listening to this album so much. Thoroughly good album, thoroughly great sound. Definitely, if you're a fan of this album, pick up the vinyl version. I implore you. It is so good, so great. Considering this is from 1976 as well. So yes, that is all my many adventures in the world of vinyls. So yes, I hope you enjoyed this episode of CDs and Vinyl I Bought Recently, brought to you by Cindy Looper. So this has been the Album Man. Thanks for watching, comment, subscribe, and as usual, long live rock and roll.